Hello and welcome to a quick video on Printix 2025.1 new features and functionality. 2025.1 is the quarter 1 release for Printix in 2025. This release includes Printix Go support for Canon devices for authentication and print release. Printix Go for Xerox now supports capture and workflow. Printix Go for HP is updated for newer devices and card reader support. Printix administration is also enhanced with Copilot, which gives generative AI capability to assist Printix administrators have conversational style help for Printix administrative tasks. And Printix Go can now coexist with eCopy, ShareScan, AutoStore, or Total Agility embedded app and provide SSO on certain vendors. Though in today's video we will look more deeply into the new API functionality and the ability to implement webhooks in Printix. Printix has an existing card print API which has been extended with new endpoints to allow user access card management, and with the introduction of webhook at user creation event enables the automation of card registration and management, simplifying the process of access card registration for users and administrators. I will run you through with basic configuration and quick demonstration of this functionality. Printix administration setting has a new tab for applications, and in this tab administrators can create new application which could be either for cloud print or for card management. In this case I will create a card management application which gives me the client ID and secret to use these new endpoints. And to enable event-driven automation, a new functionality to create webhooks has been added. Currently, a webhook is available on user create event. I created a webhook in the webhook tabs of the application menu where I provide the listener URL and I can make it active or inactive in the configuration. Before I go into the demo, let me quickly describe the workflow for automation of the card registration. When a new user signs into Printix, based on the configuration I just showed, it sends a webhook with the user ID of the new signed in user. This event can be received by any serverless computing platform like Azure Functions, Google Functions, or an AWS Lambda. When these functions receive the webhook, they get the user ID of the newly created user. The function then makes an authorization call to the card management API to get the access token. With the access token and the user ID, the function makes a second call to Printix to get user details like name, roles, and email address of the newly created user. Next, with the name or the email, the function then queries the customer card management database or API to retrieve the created user's card number from those systems, which is then converted to base 64. Finally, the function makes a post request to the card management API to update the user's card number into Printix. With this, now the user who has just signed in on their PC or mobile device will be able to go to a printer configured with card reader and Printix Go to authenticate themselves with the building access card and release their secure print jobs. Let's see this in action. This is my Printix demo tenancy, and in this, as we can see, there is a new menu item applications, and under applications we can create a new cloud print API type application or a card manager type application. And in the webhook tab you can create a new webhook for which currently create user event is selectable. With this setup, if I now go and look for my users and try to find the user that I will use, I can see that there is no user with this name. So I will now log in on another browser with this user. But when I log in, the Azure function which I have created, which I explained a minute ago, which is running here, will be listening for this login event and will perform all those API functions which we talked about. So if I proceed with the login, it's a Microsoft Entra ID configured user, so I will log in. As soon as the login finishes on the client, the user is created in Printix, which will then send the webhook event. We can see the logs. Webhook received the request, extracted user ID, user email, SQL connection opened, card number in base 64, card number updated successfully. So this way a new user login event creates an automation which can retrieve their card number and update that into Printx so that they can go and release their print job securely on a configured Go device. Thank you for your time and hope you find this useful.